this code is a quick, simple test to make sure that any percentage that is entered is valid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the code. I'm going to quickly show you. So any number up to 100 is valid. 0 will be valid. Because of the two conditions set on line 5, the percentage less than or equal to 100, and, which means both have to be true, the percentage is greater than -1. That means if I put a value of 101, I will get a statement saying the test percentage is invalid. If I put a value of -5, it will tell me that it's invalid. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to add to the code so that it can actually return a percentage value for me as a grade. So what I'm going to do is remove the statement about printing. Okay, and I'm going to use a new if statement. So if the percentage is greater than or equal to 90%, I'm going to tell the user that that grade is going to be a 9. So your percentage, and then I'm going to return the value of the percentage to them that they've typed in. Gives you a grade of 9. Okay, so what this should now do is it will check to see if it's between 100 and a 0, and then it will check if it's over 90. If the answer is over 90, it will tell me what the grade is. So let's quickly run that and make sure that works. So I'm going to use 97. And it's telling me the grade of the percentage 97 gives me a grade of 9. I'm just going to remove that. So let's just check, see what happens if it's not greater than 90. So I'm going to run the test again. I'm going to put 89, press enter, and it doesn't do anything because of the way the stagger works. Okay, so we're looking at why didn't the code return any value? Well, it did the first if statement, and it found that was true. Because this condition is true, it ignores the condition on line 9 because that is at the same level as the if statement. So this condition means that this condition doesn't get run because it's not needed. Once it comes into this part of the code, this will only run if the percentage given was valid. So the next thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to add some extra conditions onto this so that it can give me extra grades. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the line back so it's at the same level as the if statement in line 6. So these will be the conditions that are checked one after another. So I'm going to say elif the percentage is greater than or equal to 80. I'm going to copy the exact same message from line 7. I'm going to copy it into there, and I'm now going to change the reported grade to 8. So now what it should do is it will check to see if it's greater than 90. If it isn't, it will check to see if it's greater than 80. If it isn't greater than 80 at the moment, it will do nothing. So what I'm going to do is quickly fix that. I'm going to say else, which means any other percentage that's left, I'm going to print the same thing again as I had before. So I'm printing exactly the same thing as before, and I'm going to change the grade at the end, and this will be the lowest grade I can possibly get, which will be 0. So now it will check to see if it's greater than 90. If it isn't, it will then check to see if it's greater than 80. And if it isn't, it should print the message at the bottom, which gives me a grade 0. So let's try running that. So the first thing I need to do is make sure my number, let's try 84. And what 84 should give me, it should be giving the message saying that it's at 8, which it does. I'm now going to try a number less than 80. And it tells me that it gives me a grade 0 as expected. Okay, so what I now want to do is I want to do an extra check for grade 8 being close to 90. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go to the end of the line that reports a grade 8, and I'm going to put in another if statement. So I'm going to say if 90 minus the percentage that that person has is less than 2, what I'm going to ask it to do is I'm going to ask it to say that they're very close to the actual getting a 9. So print, you are very close to getting a 9. Okay. So what that should now do is when I run it, it will check to see if that if statement is met, and if it is, it will print that you're getting very close to getting a 9. So let's run that. So I'll start off with a percentage that won't give me that answer. So what I'm going to do is use 82. So 82 says it gives me a grade 8. If I run it again, and I use 89, because it's within 2 of that percentage, it tells me as well that I'm getting very close. So the way that's actually working is this if statement level between levels 6 and 8, and if I press the little button, you can see that it closes it. So that statement there is running, and then if this statement here is true, the else if percentage, I can print the second message here. So it says I'm very close to getting 9 because 9 will be the next one up from 8. So that is how we can use individual nested ifs. Each if is inside of another if until we get to the end. Notice that the lines tell you what level you're at with each particular thing. So in this case, in level 6, line 6, the line is telling me that the if in line 6, the else in line 8, the else if in line 8, and the 12 and the else in line 12 are all in the same part of the statement. Because that is inside the if statement between 5 and 15, it all gets wind up together, and you can see that that statement's there. So that's what the little pluses are for. So if I go to this one and I press the little plus, you can see that it winds up everything underneath there. So all these things are at the same level. There's the level for that particular thing at the same indent. When I open things back up again, you can see where the other indents are.